So is Looksmaxxing as a vector a good idea? Yes. To get to Clavicular's level is too far.
Welcome to another episode of Ask a Brother podcast. I'm your host, Jeff St. James, and we're going to have a whole host of different people from different backgrounds coming in because it really is about building a community of like-minded people that's just open to listening and hearing from other perspectives. The revolution is going to be because of us. Now, listen, I've been accused of this a few times, and I've asked a bunch of my guests that's come through, do you hate women? And why do some people think you do? Is it because of exactly what you said?
I love women probably more than anyone in this space. My closest friends are women. I throw several different charity events for women. I also host a bunch of beauty pageants, and all the contestants are women. And a lot of women don't like the fact. One of the most objectionable and offensive things about me is that I say what I say about certain stereotypes and manosphere beliefs, etc. And then they want to then immediately, because of my beliefs, call me an incel. And then they call me an incel, and then you already know where I'm going with this, right? Like they call me an incel, and then they go to my Instagram and they're like, holy fucking shit. Like, how does this guy know this many women? This doesn't make any sense. Like they're so ready to call me an incel. They're so ready to just explain to the world. I don't know if you can like share my screen here, but like they're so ready to tell the world that I'm an incel and that I hate women. And then this is my life. See if it'll load. And then they just can't figure it out. Then it's like, well, the only reason all these women hang out with you is because you pay them. And I'm like, well, I don't pay any of them. I'll bet you $100,000. Well, the only reason these women hang out with you is because, these women are promiscuous or just want clout. I'm like, well, then why don't you look them up and make sure that that's true? And then that turns out to be true. Well, the only reason why these women hang out with you is because they're immature. And the only reason, and the only reason, and the only reason, and the only reason, and they can never come up with a reason. They can never explain why so many women come to my events and hang out with me. They can't explain it. And it becomes very bothersome because their entire intent is to call me an incel, make fun of me. Who hurt you, bro? You're a pig, whatever. And then they see my life and they're very confused why so many, like I have, I think 42,000 women who follow me on Instagram. And some of the biggest models in the world follow me. Why do they do that? Why? It doesn't make any sense. And the reason why is because they understand, the ones who are my friends and truly listen to me, they understand that when I say the statements I'm saying, I'm never coming from a place of hurt or anger or hate, ever. I'm coming from a place, like, again, if I hold men accountable, they don't say who hurt you. If I tell my client who's overweight, you're overweight, he's like, thank you for telling me that. That's something I needed to hear. If I tell a female, you're overweight, it's who hurt you? Why are you a pig? Body positivity, body positive. So the problem is one gender seems to be able to take criticism a little bit better than the other one does. And because of that, the people who are closest to me, the females who are closest to me, who know that I'm not coming from a place of anger or hatred, when I give them criticism or hold them accountable for their behavior, they know that I'm coming from a place of love, which is why so many women follow me.
Hey, y'all. It's Jeff St. James from Ask a Brother podcast, and I would like to thank today's sponsor. I made the switch to Anson Belt and Buckle, and I'm never going back. Most traditional belts have holes spaced an inch apart, and if your weight fluctuates, you're stuck between sizes, the belt is either too tight or too loose. With Anson Belt and Buckle, they use micro-adjustable track system with quarter-inch increments. That means no more stretching, no more cracking leather from shoving a prong through the same hole, no diddy, and absolutely perfect sizing every single time. The best part, you can mix and match their interchangeable straps and buckles to create a look for the office, the golf course, or even a night out. Oh, and last but not least, they use premium materials like full grain leather and canvas. Head over to ansonbelt.com and check out the box sets. Now, right now, when you build your own box set, you can grab 2 bonus pieces completely free. That's Anson Belt and Buckle. Upgrade your fit today and let them know Ask a Brother sent you. Nice. And so then Looksmaxxing. I've been wanting to know your thoughts about this and what this trend is, and if you think it's a good thing, bad thing, or somewhere in between. Clavicular, the young guy, you know, I remember he was doing the gender reconstruction and, you know, reshaping his I don't know. It's confusing to me. But I wanted to know your thoughts as somebody who's been in this space for as long as you have. What are your thoughts about Looksmaxxing?
Do you remember the fascination in the 80s with action movie stars, and they were all just loaded up on steroids? Do you remember this? It was Arnold Schwarzenegger. It was Sylvester Stallone. It was Dolph Lundgren, and they were all just, these guys were on Primobolan, Anavar, Trenbolone. These guys were just loaded up on steroids. Do you remember this?
Mm-hmm.
Getting in shape was a vector, but the end point of the vector, that was too much steroids. That was too much muscle. Do you understand what I'm saying? So in general, did the vector cause you to go to the gym? Was that good? Yes. Does it cause you to abuse steroids? No, that's too much. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Let's use a different one. Might be Bilzerian. Bilzerian's a friend of mine. In Bilzerian's case, he used pre-selection in order to get more and more and more and more and more women into his life. Now, in general, using pre-selection to bring women into your life, in general, as a vector, is that a good idea? Yes. Do you need to be Bilzerian? He would even tell you shouldn't be. It was too much.
Mm-hmm.
It was too much hedonism. It was too much. So what you can do is you can respect.
Hold on. Before you finish, just realize the type of life that man had to live for you to say it's too much.
Yeah.
And I've seen the pictures, and I said, brother, like, come up for air at some point. It looked like he was worse than Hefner at one point in terms of how he was running.
He was definitely worse than Hefner. Yeah. Yeah, because at the peak of his powers, he's in his 30s. At the peak of Hefner's powers, he's in his 70s or 80s. So yeah, I think it was definitely what he did was he definitely had more opportunity. But the point is, if you were to talk to Dan, Dan will talk about like how it just didn't mean anything after a while. You don't have to talk, like I've talked to Dan about this privately, but you can also read his book, The Setup, where he goes over it near the end of the book. He goes over this concept. So Dan was a vector, but you don't want to go to that vector. Is it good to be funny? Yes. Is it good for if you and I were funnier, more charismatic people? Yes. Should we make our entire lives about doing stand-up comedy and tour on the road 250 nights a year? No, that's too far. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It was the same. So to answer your question, I use those three analogies. Let's just take the same analogy to Looksmaxxing. Looksmaxxing is a vector to get better looking. Let's fix our grooming. Let's wear suits that look better. Let's have a more relevant haircut. Let's maybe get our teeth fixed. Let's get into better shape. Let's get below 15% body fat. Are all of those things good? Yes, they're good. Do we need to start shaving down our jaw? That might be too far. Now, I have seen dudes before. I'm not going to lie to you. Like they have such a huge bulbous nose that if they went and got a rhinoplasty, I wouldn't blame them. Whatever. The guys who have like a little bit, the hairline's receding, so they go to Turkey and they get the transplants. No shame. I really don't. That doesn't bother me at all. The guys who are in their late 30s, early 40s who get on TRT, maybe do a cycle of Anavar, get in the best shape of their life. Do I have a problem with that? I don't have a problem. I don't recommend it, but I don't have a problem with it. I really don't have a problem with it. So is Looksmaxxing as a vector a good idea? Yes. To get to Clavicular's level is too far. Does that make sense?
Yeah. What
and
about
let me say something. I like Braden. He's been super cool to me at Clavicular. And I just don't think you need to go to that level. And by the way, Clavicular probably would agree to. He probably doesn't think you need to be taking steroids at 14. Okay, that he would probably say the same thing. So that's the only place I would say is all of these things in moderation are excellent. I want to get bigger because I watched Predator back in 1987. That's good. Taking massive levels of steroids might not be good. You saw, Arnold Schwarzenegger can't lift weights anymore because he had heart surgery. I think he had a transplant or he had a valve removed or something like that. Like that's what happens years and years of abusing anabolic steroids. And so that's what happens. So as a vector, all these things are terrific. In general, do we want to do this? No, you can go too far. Do we want to be a good person? Those of you who do sales, any of you guys are setters and closers, do you want to be good at sales? Yes. Do you want to be Jordan Belfort where you're deliberately lying to people and stealing their money? That's too far. That's too far. Do you see what I'm saying? You see how we can improve, but we don't have to go too far. We can do things in moderation.
So what about the guys that's the short kings who get the surgery to break their shins and add an extra 3 to 4 inches? What you think about that?
I've seen more than 3 to 4 inches. I will say this. If you want to do it, I really want to see a study of people after they do that for a while, because I have heard about nerve damage that happens for the person's legs. If you want to do it, what I'm saying is if you're on the other end of that gate and you've made up your mind you're going to do it, I'm not going to talk you out of it. But if you're not to that point yet, I'm not going to talk you into it either. Does that make sense? What I would like to see is like a few thousand people who've gone through that, and let's survey them. Let's do some health benefits. Can they still run? Can they move at a normal pace? And then are they getting just significantly better results with women? I will tell you, my social circle game will add 10 inches of height to you. If you're, I've got clients who are low 5 feet and they date super hot women because of social circle will trump height. So that's what I would say. Here, let me use an example. You watch American football, Jeff?
Of course. I got an
Okay,
Eagles
cool.
tattoo on the situation.
I love it. Okay, so in American football, I want you to think about this. For women, they have one play they can run. It's 31 ISO up the middle. I'm hot. What's the play? Ready? I'm hot on 3. 1, 2, 3. I'm hot. And then you hand the girl the ball and she runs right up the middle and she's hot. And the hotter she is, the further she goes up the field. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Women have one in the beginning, not throughout their life. Picking a good mother is not just because she's hot. But in the beginning, you notice women because they're hot. Women get over the hump and get a lot further along in life because they're hot. So they run play, 31 ISO, 3 back up the one hole, 31 ISO up the middle. Men, in order for men to generate attraction, we can run bubble screens, double reverses, play action passes, shot plays. We can run out of shotgun, the wishbone, the wing tee. Men have hundreds of plays they can run to be attractive to women. Women have one play they can run to be attractive to men. You with me so far?
Oh, that's yeah. Damn. I like that. I like the analogy.
If you want to see the divergence of the two, then listen to Cindy Meston and David Buss. They wrote a book called Why Women Have Sex. And the only one thing you take away from this book is that the number of reasons women have sex with men is like 2 orders of magnitude greater than the number of reasons men have sex with women. Mm-hmm. Men will have sex with a woman when she's attractive, and men will have sex with women only because she's attractive. Men will have sex with women who are attractive and have a terrific personality. Men will have sex with women who are attractive and have a terrible personality. Men will have sex with attractive women. Women, on the other hand, will see a man who's very physically attractive and not have sex with him. It is just weird. And then some women will have sex with men because they have money. Some women will have sex with men because they have status. Some women will have sex with men because they're funny. Some women will have sex with men because they're competent. Some women will have sex because they're tall. There's so many different plays as a man we can run. Mm-hmm. And within the social circle playbook, you have relevancy, competency, humor, charisma, pre-selection, social proof, access to scarce resources, locations, networks, and leadership. Those 10 inside the social circle playbook that you can run. And so as a man, when you say short king, well, then we can overcome short king with relevancy, competency. The number one is if you have enough pre-selection, you can overcome being 5 feet tall.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Wow.
That's what that's the main thing I would say. There's just more plays as men we can run than women.